You don't lose yourself all at once. It doesn't happen in a dramatic collapse or a sudden turning point. It happens quietly, in small choices, tiny compromises, subtle silences, until one day you look in the mirror and realize the person staring back isn't you anymore. And here's the terrifying part. You never notice the exact moment when you disappeared. You start life as something raw and honest. You speak your mind, you feel deeply, you dream loudly. But as you grow, you learn something dangerous, that being yourself has consequences. You learn to stay quiet to avoid conflict. You learn to shrink so others feel comfortable. You learn to hide your feelings because nobody ever held space for them. And slowly, the real you begins to fade. You don't kill your identity. You bury it. Most people don't understand this, but losing yourself is an act of survival. It's not weakness, it's adaptation. You shape yourself into what the world approves of, into what keeps you safe, into what avoids pain. But there is a cost, and the cost is you. Psychologists call this self-alienation, a state where your actions no longer reflect your inner world, where you go through life not as yourself, but as an imitation of who you think you're supposed to be. And this is why you feel empty even when life is fine. It's why you feel tired no matter how long you sleep. It's why you feel disconnected from everyone, even the people you love, because your body is living the life you built. But your soul stopped living a long time ago. Nietzsche warned us about this. He believed that the greatest danger in life is not failure and not suffering, but becoming a copy of others. He called these people the herd, those who follow, obey, adapt, conform, never questioning if the life they're living even belongs to them. Nietzsche didn't fear the man who struggled. He feared the man who numbed himself, the man who became so comfortable in his disguise that he forgot it was a disguise. You might think you're choosing comfort, but comfort without honesty is nothing but slow self-destruction. Plato understood this too. In the allegory of the cave, people lived their entire lives looking at shadows, believing the shadows were real. Not because they were stupid, but because nobody ever taught them to question what they saw. Humans don't follow truth. We follow familiarity. And if the familiar version of you is a mask, you will cling to the mask even as it suffocates you. So how do you lose yourself? It happens in moments like these, when you say yes even though your entire soul screams no, when you laugh at things that aren't funny just to fit in, when you hide your opinions because you fear being judged, when you stay in environments that shrink you because leaving feels too frightening. Every time you betray yourself to keep the peace, you lose a piece of who you are. Dietrich Bonhoeffer warned that the greatest threat to society is not evil, but people who stop thinking for themselves, people who surrender their inner voice, people who become passive participants in their own lives. When you stop questioning, you stop existing. Here's the twist that most people never see coming. Your life doesn't fall apart when you lose yourself. It keeps going. You still do your job. You still smile in photos. You still wake up and follow the same routine. But inside, something is missing. A quiet ache. A sense of wrongness you can't articulate. A feeling that your life is happening without you. And if you don't confront that ache, you will try to numb it. With endless scrolling, with work, with entertainment, with relationships that fill the time but never fill the void. Avoidance becomes your identity. Numbing becomes your routine. Hustle becomes your personality. You call it being busy. But it's really an escape. Machiavelli once wrote that people often prefer what is familiar even when it harms them, because the unknown threatens their illusion of control. And that's exactly why you stay stuck. You fear who you might become more than you fear who you already are. But here's the truth nobody tells you. You do not find yourself by searching outward. You find yourself the moment you stop running. Your real self is not something you need to build. It's something you need to remember. It's the part of you that existed before the world told you who to be. So ask yourself, when did I stop listening to my own voice? Where in my life am I performing instead of living? What parts of me have I silenced to be accepted? Whose expectations am I carrying that were never mine? Ask honestly, and your soul will answer. Be warned, your real self will cost you things. It will cost you approval. It will cost you comfort. It may cost you relationships that were built on your silence. But losing those things is how you reclaim yourself. Being yourself is not a reward. It is a responsibility. A choice you make every day, not to betray your own soul for the sake of belonging. You don't need to fix your life, you need to return to yourself. And that return begins with one simple, terrifying act. Tell the truth about what you feel, about what you want, about what hurts, about what no longer fits the person you're becoming. Because the most dangerous moment in your life is not when everything falls apart. It's when you fall apart and pretend everything is fine. You lose yourself quietly. But you can only reclaim yourself loudly, not through shouting, but through honesty. You don't find yourself. You come back to yourself. And now that you see the truth, you can't unsee it. It's time to stop disappearing. It's time to stop dimming your light. It's time to stop abandoning the person you were always meant to become. Come home. Your real life begins the moment you do. Subscribe to Praxis, not for answers, but for the questions that finally wake you up.